YouTube, we here. Yo, we finally here, YouTube. What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? I go by the name Mr. Drummond, and this is my first official YouTube video. Ah! I'm excited because I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm scared. I'm feeling a little bunch of things right now, but just being honest, I started this YouTube channel back when I was in college, and I always told myself I was gonna share my story, I was gonna post about my life, but I never did it. So this is my first official YouTube video, and I thought, you know what, to kind of get out over the nerves, let's do a Q&A. So I had posted a poll on my IG the other day, and at first, only like 2 people asked me a question, but then towards the end of the day, a lot more questions came in. Honestly, what I'm really hoping is to kind of grow a community with me, people that just believe in my message, people that are coming from similar backgrounds or situations like me. And I'm just hoping y'all can grow with me. So I don't got no cool introduction song. I don't got sound effects and noises, but I think that will come over time. And I just look forward to just sharing the gems and the things that God placed on my heart with y'all. Now, like I said, my first video is gonna be about Q&A. So I got a little bowl right here with crumbled up pieces of paper, and I'm just gonna read them off and just talk about them as we go. Appreciate it. All right, let's get this first question in, okay? So first one, if you can start as Mr. Drummond 10 years ago, what would you do differently? That's a good ass question, I'm not gonna lie. For me, I'm 32 now, so 10 years ago, I'm 22. I am honestly approaching college graduation. I think at that time, personally, I would do a better choice of knowing when to let people go. I always struggled growing up letting people go. When they wanted to leave my life or they wanted to be done with me, even if they were in the right and the wrong. I was definitely in a very toxic relationship at that point in my life in college, which I knew it was bad, and there's no one to blame other than me. I was going through a fallout with my best friend. So I think just knowing when to let people go. If somebody doesn't want to be with you no more, somebody doesn't want to be a friend no more, let them go. And let them go peacefully and gracefully. Because when you try to hold on to something that don't want to be there no more, you just do more pain to yourself. All right, so I actually like that question. I didn't know we was gonna get all personal and stuff. All right, second question. What book of the Bible are you currently reading? That's a good one. Currently right now, I'm in the book of Matthews. At first, what I wanted to do was start the year off by trying to read the Bible from start to finish. And then when Lent season came, I kind of really wanted to focus on currently what is one of my biggest struggles right now that I know that I'm struggling in with my flesh. And, I did a little bit of research, used a little bit of AI, watched a few sermons on YouTube, and it brought me to a story in the book of Matthews. So that's currently the book that right now that I've been reading of lately. Okay. Right along, man. Next question. What's something people assume about your journey that is completely wrong? That's a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I have to really think about that one. Because I don't think people understand the full depth of my journey. Even though I'm very open and I share a lot about like my life and stuff on social media, there's still a lot that people don't know. I don't share everything, which even the stuff that I do share, people probably like, bro, it took a lot of like guts and vulnerability to share that. But I've really been through a lot, man. I've really been through a lot. And I know there's people that come from similar backgrounds like me, and people that's been through worse things than me. But I went through a lot. I don't know how I'm here right now. I really don't. Like, I honestly don't know how I'm here right now. But I don't think people really understand the full depth of it. Your boy been through some things. And if I don't show it, it's because, honestly, because of good grace of God, man. These are some good questions. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to fight back these tears. Okay. Next question. What motivates you to keep going, and how do you block out all the noise? So, if I didn't say it earlier, I'm 32 years old. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I've been here I make 2 months. I mean, not two. Whoa. I make 2 years in May of this year. But honestly, what motivates me to keep me going is just my upbringing and everything that I've been through throughout my life, but especially from early on. I don't think we are supposed to be born to come on this world to suffer and just struggle. I truly believe there's something more to life, and I truly believe that God has gave me a big purpose and a responsibility with that purpose to share my story. So honestly, what motivates me is the definition and the image and the vision I have for family. Coming from nothing and a lot of brokenness, and being adopted and growing up in the system, I didn't really have good representation of what family is. And I think that what motivates me is because I do look forward to being a dad one day. I do look forward of having kids and having a wife. I'm not saying I'm in a rush for that, but I look forward to that. And I understand the decisions that I make is going to contribute to potentially how I can affect my spouse and my partner and my kids. So that what really motivates me. And how do I block out the noise? I'm not gonna sit up in here and lie like I was always good with blocking out the noise, but I think for me, it's really just kind of developing systems and routines and developing that discipline, which it took a while to get to that point. But I would say for me, I've had to now start developing a sense of just not giving a damn what people gotta think and say. Is it like that 24/7? No, I am human. I do have emotions, but I realized the more I care less about someone else's opinions about my life or things that they think I should be doing, all those kind of things, that kind of helped me. And then just developing those non-negotiable systems and routines. Like people get on me all the time about my phone always on D&D, or why did they call me and go straight to voicemail? I used to let that affect me back in my like mid-20s and early 20s because I care so much. I like trying to be there for everybody. But I don't care no more because you're not paying my bills. You're not feeding me. You wasn't helping me when I was living in my car. I got my life that I gotta live. So, and I help a lot of people out. I don't think people understand that. I help a lot of people out. I'm connected to a lot of people. People come to me for a lot of things. When I need time for D and I need time for myself, I gotta take it. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, let's move right along. Next question. I'm enjoying this. I'm not gonna lie. What led you to deepen your faith and walk with God? Oof. I think for me, I didn't grow up in a church background. I didn't grow up having parents that say this is what we do, this is what we believe in. We go to church on Sundays, but I always did believe like there was a God, there was a higher power. And I think for me, coming from a lot of struggle and all I know is survival and having to do things on my own, it got to a certain point where things that I was used to doing in certain seasons that worked for me in the past started to not work for me anymore as I got older, and I continued to get older. And then I had a heart attack back in 2022, and I just noticing repeated struggles just kept repeating, and certain chapters kept repeating like it was a marathon. Like there was like just, I don't know how to explain it. Like I was just in a good funk for a good few years. And at some point in time, I had to look in the mirror like, yo, it's you. And you keep trying to do things your way. Because I would pick up 3 to 4 jobs. I would work overnight. I would pick up another shift here, another shift there, just burn myself out. And then I had to realize like, yo, that's not working anymore. That's not working anymore, bro. Surrender. You really just surrender. And I think God allowed me to go through some of these seasons for me to understand and see that the only person that can pull me out and the only person that can help me wasn't my grind, wasn't my hustle, wasn't a job. It was him. It was truly just him. And it was going to take me having to renew my faith and build it like a muscle daily. And it wasn't gonna be I got it out the mud and I grinded and I busted my behind, like, because that was the mindset for many years. And I had to really surrender myself to him and understand, like, bro, just give it to him. Still do your part and pray and show up and be obedient, but just give it to him. And I think when I finally did that, that honestly would help me and let me move to Florida, because I was in just a cycle. But I had to change my mindset. I had to change my environments. I had to just change my thought process. And I had to believe again in the things that I couldn't see or touch or feel. So I'm truly grateful, man. And I would say since then, like, my relationship with him has not been the same. It's a lot stronger because he done blessed the boy. He done blessed the boy. All right, let's move to the next question. I hope y'all enjoying this, man, so far. All right. How was your drive for how has your drive for self-improvement changed in the last year? It's crazy because it honestly goes hand in hand with the last question. But what I will say for me is I've always been big on self-improvement. I've always been big on how to better myself. What do I need to work on? What I need to heal on? I'm very, very self-aware about the things that I'm slacking on or things I need to do better at. What I would say for me is now being 32, having my good, fair share of experiences with health issues. I think for me is being more content where I'm at. And I would stress so much about the future. Like, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta get that done. I'm gonna be this at this age. And it built up a lot of anxiety and anxiousness in my system. I've really learned just to kind of understand the power of pausing, understanding the importance of just being content where you're at the moment. It doesn't mean that you need to settle and that you are fine with this being how life is for the rest of your life, but just understanding that when God places you in certain environments, jobs, positions, towns, cities, whatever, it's really for you to do and get everything that you need to get out of it before he shifts you. And I think for me, knowing that, having an understanding that, like, not that I have time, but just understanding of, like, yo, be very present with whatever season you're in right now and do 100% at it. So if you at a down season, be 100% present in your down season. If you in a season of abundance, be 100% in it. And I think I'm a lot more intentional with my self-improvement now. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it going. I got a few more in there. Okay. What's the number one skill you feel you possess that has gotten you where you are today? Ooh. I think for me, and honestly, I don't think I give myself enough credit for this. Not that I'm ever trying to take credit from God or anything, but I think my power to persevere. Man. Again, I've been through a lot, and I sometimes don't realize until, like, a friend is telling me, like, most people from your story and your situation are either dead in jail or really down bad. And I think for me, my drive and want for better and my dreams is so big, man. Even in the seasons when I was in these funks and I was really down bad and I was depressed, I still just had a little bit of hope in me of, like, yo, I gotta do it, bro. Something is always in me just saying, I gotta do it. I gotta get this done. I refuse to, like, for this to be my life. I think that's a skill that I can say I honestly am very proud of, because there's a lot of people that can't handle any type of tough times or hardships. And I just keep getting back up. And I'm not doing it all alone. It's definitely due to the man above. But we still have free will, and we still have choices to make. So I'm very proud of myself for that, because there's been many chances to call it quits, and I'm still here. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that one was a little touchy for me. All right, next question. What led you to your current path in helping others? I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I struggled a lot, and definitely finding out my purpose and knowing what I need to do in life. I hate seeing people struggle. I hate seeing people feel like they don't have nowhere to go. And I always took pride of kind of being that beacon of hope or a light for people to kind of go to get recharged, get refilled, but most importantly, get closer to God. Um, it says to help our neighbors. It really does. It says to help our neighbors, to help the bum on the street, the hoe on the street, whatever. I really just want to help people. I want to help people to the best of my ability. And I don't ever want to get too boasted of myself to the point where like I feel like I can't help nobody no more, or I shouldn't be helping nobody. Even when times when I know I'm supposed to be saying no, I struggle saying no to people, man. Financially, my time, whether it's my words, whatever, my presence. I know what it is to feel pain. I know what it is to feel isolated and feel like you have nowhere to go. And I just take pride in like just helping people out, man. That's all I can really say. Take pride in helping people out. Okay. What is the one thing that you can't live without? Obviously, God, but I don't want to be too cliche with this one. What is the one thing you can't live without? For me, I would say personally, I'll say my friends. My friends, even though it's changed over the years, that was always my family growing up. I love my friends. I go hard for my friends, man. I don't think I can live without my friends. I'm very lucky and blessed to say I have good friends. Friends that I've been friends with since elementary school and middle school, friends that I've been friends with since college, and friends that I'm meeting now along my journey and path. There's a lot of people out there that don't have friends or can't keep a friend. And that is truly a blessing to say I have friends. I think that's the one thing I can't live without. Obviously, if I'm not speaking about God, my friends. I have a good group of friends. All right, y'all, I think we're down to our last two questions, man. Our last two questions. What inspired your current career path? Ooh, okay, what inspired that? So if it was up to Mr. Drummond, I wanted to do fitness and modeling, and I wanted to act because I was like, even though I can't act, I know I like being in front of cameras, right? When I came out of college and I barely graduated, I just knew I had a thing to speak and be in front of cameras, and I was gonna do this and that. And I give all glory to Mama Sherv. Mama Sherv is a woman that I hold dearly. I call her Mama Sherv because she's not my biological mama, but I met her in high school, senior year of high school. I was looking into going to school, and at a point in time, I didn't care about going to college anymore. I didn't really have help from home. And I had a guidance counselor by the name of Miss Burrows. She just never had time to see me at all. And I was like, yo, it's already February. I know college starts next September. Like, what are we doing? And Wayne Abenis, who's a good mentor of mine, friend of mine, he introduced me to Miss Sherverton, and she took me on. And I was not her kid at all. And she took me on and took everything. She did everything a part of the process. Got me into college she got me into college when the deadline passed like 6 months ago, and the rest was history. So when I graduated, I'm still connected to this woman to this day. That's Mama Sherv. I don't play by Mama Sherv. I call her my career mama. She invited me to come back in the summer of 2018. She invited me to come and speak at the Freshman Center. So there was a summer program for the incoming ninth graders in Brentwood School District in Long Island, New York. And she just said she just wanted me to speak a little bit and just talk to the kids. And I'm like, I don't have nothing planned. And she's like, just speak 5 minutes. So I went and I came up with something last minute. I did and that video is still on my Instagram to this day. I came up with something last minute, and I was doing this whole little thing, and I could tell like the kids was really listening to me. And I think it was like a good 60 of them in the cafeteria. Once I was done, I was nervous, I was out of breath. I went to Miss Sherverton's office, and she was just staring at me in awe. And I'm like, hey, Mama Sherv. And she was like, you did so amazing, my baby. I'm so proud of you. That's how she talks, though, all right? That's how she talks, seriously. And she was just like, listen here, baby. She said, Dorian, that's your purpose in life. I'm like, what? What's my purpose in life? She said, that right there. I was like, speaking? She was like, yes, honey. I said, I said, there ain't nothing sexy about speaking. Like, what are we talking about? Like, there's nothing cool about speaking. I was like, I want to be an actor. I want to be a fitness model. She said, She said, baby, that is not your purpose. That right there is your purpose. Your purpose is to speak and share your story. And the rest has been history. And the reason why I think that woman, because around that point in my life, I was lost, I was confused, I was going through a very tough season, and I was trying to juggle so many different things because I am naturally talented. I'm just not consistent. I wasn't consistent around that time. But I thank her because when I look back at my life, and if you talk to anybody that's knew me since college, anybody that's knew me since elementary school, they will say the same thing. He was always positive. My friends from my childhood will make fun of me, call me preacher boy. And at a time, I used to be mad about that. Like, yo, I ain't no preacher. But I look back at it, it was just like, bro, you always was inspiring people, motivating people, but you was positive. And it's like, dog, of course that it will be my purpose and my career path. It's crazy. It's crazy how God works, man. It really is. All right. Here's the last question for the Q&A, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me if you're still watching this video. I'm looking to make more YouTube videos and grow with you. And this is, what's crazy? What's crazy is this, with this question right here, I did not save this question on purpose to be the last one. But this is a crazy way to end the video. This is a crazy way to end the video. So the last question for the Q&A is, what is a life motto that you live by? And I swear to God, I'm not swear to God, but I didn't like plan this to be the last question. But what is a life motto that you live by? If you follow me, I say this one motto, this one statement all the time. Yo, it's to the point when people DM me and they say this word to me, I get hype. Because I see me making merch out of this statement. I see me getting it trademarked. I see like me speaking in front of people and I'm saying, and I'm repeating the word to them and they saying it back to me because I wholeheartedly attack and live my life by that way. Seriously. It's not something I made. All right, let me just give you the background of it. So the question again, because I'm getting carried away. The question again is, what is a motto that you live your life by? And going back to when I recently graduated college, the fall of 2016, I was going through it. And I'll make another video about that one day or soon. Not say one day, pretty soon. And I came across this quote on Snapchat and it said, lay low and boss up. And it just stuck with me, especially with everything I was going through in that time. Lay low and boss up. And I remember I'm living in my car, December 2016, I'm living in my car. And I'll explain that story, how that happened. I'm 23 years old. And something just told me, I'm going to figure this thing out. I'm going to come out on top. But I don't need to post and stunt and tell everybody what I'm doing and what's going on. And I just said, like, I like the idea of struggling, like off camera, laying low and building, and then bossing up. So one day I can be in Paris, one day I can be in Bali, I can be anywhere because I am not really into the social media stuff, which I know it is crazy now in 2026 than it was 10 years ago. But I'm like, lay low and boss up. Lay low to me is you taking the time and being intentional to figure your shit out. Excuse my French, I shouldn't be cussing. But you taking the time to figure your life out. You taking the time to put that intentional work in to get it done, to grow, to heal, right? To check yourself, to make more time for others that you need to be giving your time to. And then bossing up is you coming out on top. Bossing up is not you flaunting money and you driving whips and you with the baddest chick. That's not bossing up. Bossing up is leveling up. Is leveling your finances, your mental, your spirituality, your relationship with God. That's the bossing up. That's the bossing up. Becoming healthy, becoming fitter. And that's how I live my life. That's my motto. That ain't ever gonna change. I gotta get that tatted on me pretty soon too. So that's my motto. That's what I live by, and that's what I wholeheartedly believe in. But other than that, I'm looking at the time, 25 minutes in. This was cool for my first YouTube video. This was cool. Again, I don't have no crazy edits and sound effects and all that, but I'm just happy to finally just get on camera and speak my mind. I appreciate y'all, man, and I hope we just grow together and I can create something beautiful out of this, man. I'm not looking for followers and fans. I want believers. I want people that believe in my message and believe in what I stand for. So please, if you support me, subscribe to the channel, like, share this video, leave a comment, and I'm leave whatever you want to say, man. Even as good, good, bad criticism, whatever. Like, I'm open to it all. And I just pray that, as I grow, you grow with me and y'all hold me accountable, because I can disappear and be inconsistent at times. I hope I don't take too long to get my second video out. But again, I thank you and appreciate you watching Mr. Drummond's first YouTube video. And I hope you enjoyed these questions and my energy today. And I look forward to posting and making more YouTube videos. But as I close this video, I wanted to say, man, thank you again. And if you know me, you know my motto: lay low and boss up. Peace.